Good morning. Good morning.
There he is.
Welcome back.
Oh man, I appreciate it.
How
Hey,
you feeling, brother? How was the trip?
oh, it was amazing. It was a lot of sightseeing. The beaches
Hmm.
were incredible. It was good to see my family as well. It's been 10 years. I went right before I went into college for went to training camp for football. My
Yeah.
first year, freshman year, and that was the last time I saw everyone. And
Wow.
it's good to get back. So
Yeah.
we did a lot of sightseeing, but a lot of family visiting as well. My wife met all my family over there, so we got to see a lot of pictures and introduced her to that side of the family, showed her all the pictures of the family and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
so it was amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Only thing is, I think 2 weeks is way too long for a vacation. Way too long. I we
Yeah.
The thing was, we thought that we would be visiting a lot more family, but
Yeah.
with the COVID and everything, we had to dial that back. My aunt was planning on going to Greece, and that side of the family got COVID as well, so they had to
Wow.
push it back, and they had to extend their trip or delay their flight, and they didn't want to get COVID from us either. So we
Yeah.
didn't see them and all that stuff, but. So the reason why we planned it for 2 weeks is because we wanted to enjoy our time and have a vacation, but at the same time visit family. But the thing was, we didn't get to visit as much family as we wanted to, so it was just like a bunch of just relaxing and either sightseeing or chilling at the beach. And that's
Yeah.
2 weeks is way too long for that. So I would say maybe a week and a half next time I go over there. But nonetheless, it was amazing.
Yeah.
How you been?
Awesome. I've been good. I've been good. Just doing a lot of work around the house, working on my charting, working on, just vision what I'm seeing, how I should be entering and exiting trades.
Good.
The 5 minute thing finally clicked. I told you. So, when we do sit on the Zoom, I'll show you how I'm managing. Essentially, what I'm doing is once I enter the trade, I just drop to the five and I just start marking structure, just support or resistances.
You say the
Just
5 minute?
yeah,
Okay.
with zones, and I just watch it to see if it continues to break the zones, going up. If I'm in a buy, it'll break the zones coming down, you
Okay.
know. And if it reverses and takes out two consecutive zones, then I know it's time to get out.
Okay. I like
So
that. And were you back testing that, live back testing it? What
yeah,
had you
actually,
find that you like that?
I've been back testing it in the sim, and it's been working really, really good.
Okay.
And then this week, I actually plan to live back test it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it just started to click. So, and doing similar to what you do with your higher time frame zones, well, those levels. So I don't mess with once I mark the monthly and the weekly levels, I just leave them alone.
Okay.
I may clear them like once a week and redo them, but other than that, I'd leave them alone. And I'll redo the daily 4 hour, 1 hour
Hmm.
every day.
So you basically do what I do, where you just leave kind of like those key levels on the higher time frames on,
Yeah.
and then you kind of redo it from the daily.
Yep.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
And so how'd you come about that? Looking at the 5 minute and understanding the structure there, like what was
Reese.
that?
Yeah, that was that night I told you Reese and I were on, and he pinged me. He's like, Jamie, so, can we have a quick Zoom? He said, I want to show you something
Oh.
that'll help you.
Mhm.
Because he saw as well that I would get frustrated with why these trades, why I'm exiting so early.
Mhm.
He said, try this. So we were on there that night, and he was marking up AJ, and then he jumped over, he started marking up EJ with me.
Okay.
He said that he showed me what he does, marking up his highs and his lows and his support and resistance. And then he said, what I do is when I'm in the trade, I go down to the 5 minute. I said, yeah, Reese, I said, I used to live on the 5 minute. I said, I got away from that. He said, no, you're not entering on the five.
Hmm.
You're managing on the five.
Exactly.
He said, all you're doing is looking for price to break structure or retest. You'll find that on the 5 minute, price will retest an area a few times and then reverse. When you see that, that's your sign to start getting out, to start managing your trade. So we sat there that night and we took an EJ trade together. And that's the one that hit for 45 pips when we first did it. And we were on the 5 minute while I was running. So drop down to the five. Say, look at the five. And we started watching it and it just kept breaking structure, going down, going down. And then it hesitated. He said, see how it's pausing at this level? He said, watch it. It's going to do a quick retracement, come back down, retest that level again, and then pull away from it. And sure enough, it did. He said, as soon as it does that, get out. He said, that's your sign to, hey, okay, I'm not going any further right now. I'm going to retrace a little bit. He said, it may still come back down and break through it. He said, but right now, it's going to do a deeper retracement. So,
that's exactly what I was going over with him, where you're not entering on these time frames. You never enter on these time frames because that's just, it's like hyper scalping, and you're going to end up trying to catch like 5 trades in a session. You don't need to do that. What you're doing is just watching that market structure, exactly what you said. So I'm glad that's kind of starting to register with you.
Yeah. Because I got frustrated for a while. I'm like, why am I missing this? This should not be like this. I should be able to extend some of these runs. Yeah, I understand. Every trade has a limitation. We all know that every trade has a limitation. But I've been trading from a place of fear instead of a place of confidence. Exactly. And I told you that's the thing I've really been working at, is getting away from that. Enter the trade. You see the setup. It's a solid setup. You see it every day. Okay, in the New York-London overlap, you have the volume there. Why are you afraid? You know the setup. Enter.
Yep. What you got to do is have just a rules-based system where exactly. Obviously, like every setup is going to look different, but all your setups are going to be the same as far as like this is exactly the kind of setup I'm taking. But each one is going to look different. But that if the 15 passes the low of the previous 15 in a buy, maybe that's where you cut off 50, or maybe you're doing that on the 30-minute, right? If you're trading based on the 1 hour. So if you have that rules-based system, it's not going to be so much like, I got to make a decision in this moment. It's I've planned this. I know exactly what I'm looking for. And if this happens, I'm doing this. If this happens, I'm doing that. That eliminates the fear for the most part. Obviously, there's you don't want to lose money, right? And some fear kicks in for that. But at the same time, you're going to be confident and more confident because you have that rules-based system, and you know exactly when you're cutting off 50, and you know exactly when you're just letting your trade run and letting it breathe and giving it that ability instead of micromanaging it. But that comes with time. That comes with back testing and seeing your setups more and more and more. And it comes. And I'm sure you're starting to get more and more confident now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing. It's a good place to be in right now. Like exactly where you're at, where you're still grinding, you're not getting complacent, or you're not feeling that complacency starting to kick in, where you're just winning a lot of trades and you're doing really well, and you're not back testing as much. You kind of like peel back on that. That tends to happen to a lot of traders. But you're in that point where you're really hungry still, and you just want to keep grinding, and you're keeping those horse blinders on, and you're not stopping.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm like, there's no way, you have to continue to grind and get better.
Always.
Period.
Yep.
It doesn't matter whether you've hit 15 trades in a row, you've hit a year in a row. At some point in time, you're going to have that red month, and you got to be able to deal with that. And the only way you can deal with that, you have to continue to grind. Yep. You have to understand what it's going to take to get yourself or break yourself out of that funk when it happens. Yep. So you need to sim, you need to back test, you need to live back test. You still need to take notes as you're a student. You're a student in this game every day. Yep. Every day.
If you're not, you don't live the game.
Exactly.
There's I don't know if you remember, I'm sure you do remember, when Will Smith hit, what's his face, Chris Rock?
Yeah.
He came to the stage saying something about what Denzel said to him. Will Smith acceptance speech. Do you remember what he said?
No, I was so enamored with the slap because I'll be honest, I'm not a Chris Rock fan at all.
Oh, okay. So you were happy with that, huh?
I didn't like that he did it in public on the stage. I think that should have been something done backstage when you tune somebody up like that. But I agree that there are times when these guys take it too far. So let's hear what he has to say here.
It's awesome what Denzel said to him, and it reminds me of trading. When you start to get complacent, you start to get, you're winning a lot of trades. Exactly what we were just saying. But listen to what he says.
I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. You got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees. This is a beautiful moment, and I'm not crying for winning an award. It's not about winning an award for me. It's about being able to shine light on all of the people, Tim and Trevor and Zach and Sanaya and Demi and Ingenue and the entire cast and crew of King Richard and Venus and Serena, the entire Williams family. All right.
Yo, is that Quentin? Who is this?
It's Quentin.
Oh, what's up, buddy?
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I don't know why I don't have oh, I have Zoom user, right?
Okay. Yeah, I'm just I'm showing Jamie something real quick, and then we're gonna hop into some breakdowns. I'll catch up with you in a second, and then we'll get going. We were just in the middle of something talking about how, like, when you get complacent as a trader, or when you're catching wins and stuff like that, how you start to get complacent and stuff like that, and how Will Smith says something in this speech that resonates with me as any kind of trader that starts to get complacent. I was just showing Jamie that. So, like, just give me a second, and we'll hop in everything.
No, for sure. I'm gonna grab something to eat, and I'll be right
Beautiful.
back.
Sounds good, man.
Imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said. I look like crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams. But love will make you do crazy things. Being able to love and care for my mother, my family, my wife. I'm taking up too much time.
I don't know. Did they skip it?
Thank you for this honor. Thank you for this moment. I thank you on behalf of Richard and Oracene, the entire Williams family. Thank you. Coaching Academy invites me back. Thank you.
Here it is.
Here are the nominees. King Richard
Was a fierce defender of his family.
Yeah, they skipped the beginning of the speech in that last video.
In this time in my life, in this moment, I am overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do and be in this world. Making this film, I got to protect Ingenue Ellis, who was one of the most strongest, most delicate people I've ever met. I got to protect Sanaya and Demi, two actresses that played Venus and Serena. I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people. I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. You got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay.
I don't know where it is, but he was talking about how. Can you hear me, Jamie?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, he's talking about how, like, at your highest times, the devil comes for you.
Mm.
I don't know if you remember him saying that quote.
Mm-mm.
That's what Denzel whispered to his ear before he, right after this happened during a commercial break after he smacked him.
Yeah.
Denzel was like kind of consulting him and giving him mentorship and all that stuff. And he was just telling him, at your highest times, that's when the devil comes for you. So keep that in mind when you're trading and you're doing really well. That's where he's coming for you. He's lurking and he's looking over for you and he's making sure that you're probably going to fuck up. And he wants you to fuck up. And he wants you to go into that dark place as a trader where you're not doing as well and you're losing your confidence and stuff like that, where you're stacking losses, you're going through a losing streak. Those happen, but you need those times, right? So you're never letting that voice get into your head and you're always embracing those times and learning from those times, because that's when you get better.
Yeah.
That's all he was saying. I don't know why I remember him saying it during this acceptance speech, what Denzel said to him. I don't know why I can't find it in the video, but oh well. But I hope you get the point.
Yep, absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
All right. So, Quentin, are you back from getting food?
Yep.
Oh, beautiful. How you been, man? How was the last 2 weeks?
No, I've been doing good. I got a few wins on the markets using small lot size each time. It's been building some confidence.
Okay.
I got like a 4 days vacation. Went to see my parents in a house they bought like a year ago, which they've been fixing for a year, and I hadn't been there for 6 months or something. It's crazy. It was too good. There's a pool. So I was working a little bit, then going into the pool, going back to my laptop to work. That was crazy.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Did some good to me.
Gives you a little taste of what's to come.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Did you see your sister?
No, she was elsewhere with my grandparents. She's been on vacation for some time.
Oh, nice. Okay. Awesome. Like I said in the announcements, I'm going to be reaching out to each one of you individually to schedule our one-on-one Zooms, just so that we can pick back up, revisit goals, and make sure that we're on the right track so we kill the rest of this year.
Yeah, cool.
All right. So let's get into the economic calendar for what we have this week. We got a lot of big economic events coming out this week, so we should have some good volume. So we'll see what we got going on today. Not so much German IFO business climate. So this is important for you, Jamie. For the euro, didn't come out as good as they were probably expecting. I personally wasn't expecting much good, because since 2021, summer of 2021, for about a year, we've basically been in a decline. Besides this one data point coming out in February, so we've been in this decline. There's not much. What's the word for it? Enthusiasm about the economy over in Europe, right? Between Ukraine and Russia, a lot of that stuff is weighing on the European economy with gas. I just got a taste of it. We rented a Kia. It's like a hybrid kind of a Kia. And I had to fill it up. It was about $90 to fill this tank up, when it really should have been maybe around like 40 to 50. So that's weighing. Whenever oil is up, that's going to weigh on the economy, because everyone's got to pay more to get to where they're going, and businesses have to pay more to deliver products to different places that they're selling them. So the German IFO business climate is obviously the main economy in Europe. That's going to weigh on the Europe. So just keep that in mind. We had the business climate coming out of Belgium as well. But other than that, not too much coming out of the economic calendar for Monday. So moving into Tuesday, we have consumer confidence coming out for the U.S., Richmond Manufacturing Index coming out. We have some real estate data coming out, new home sales. So we'll see where that's at. And then later in the day, we got CPI coming out for AUD. I don't think either of you guys trade AUD pairs. I know Reese does. Reese pays attention to those. I don't know where he is today, but I'm going to be reaching out to him. But that's basically what we have going on for tomorrow. Wednesday is where everything really starts to pick up. We got the Fed funds rate. We're going to see how much they're going to start increasing rates. On Wednesday, I'm thinking maybe 75 basis points. They have their statement, and then Powell's going to be speaking later on at 2:30, about 30 minutes after that data release. But before that, we have core durable goods orders. We have durable goods orders coming out of the U.S. As well. Pending home sales, again, real estate data coming out. So that's big when it comes to our economy. But this is basically what gold is going to be waiting for. This is what a lot of our pairs are going to be waiting for, is the U.S. data when it comes to Fed funds rate, or how much are they going to be increasing rates. Now, the reason why gold has been kind of retracing and it's been bullish the past few days is because they've become a little bit less hawkish, right? Even with inflation up at like 9.1% right now, the Fed has become a little bit more dovish. And that's where you see that decline in the U.S. dollar. Where is it? Here we go. We've had that drop in the U.S. dollar. You've had a little bit of a rise in USD JPY as well. But the dollar over here in the last, I would say, week has been in this decline, and it's been weakening for the first time since obviously the middle of July. So that's something to pay attention to. We're going to be looking at Thursday over here after Fed funds rate comes out. You have advanced GDP coming out quarter to quarter. This is Jamie's chart. Awesome. You have GDP coming out, advanced GDP, and unemployment claims. So employment data coming out of the U.S. is going to be important. Moving into later in the day, Asian session, you have core CPI coming out of Tokyo. You have unemployment claim coming out of Japan, retail sales coming out of Japan. One thing to note when it comes to Japan, they have a new, where is he? Right over here. If you guys pay attention to Forex Live over here, this press conference is going to be pretty important over here when it comes to the Bank of Japan, because they have a new hawkish, the guy's name is Takada. Hajime Takada is currently a chairman of the Global Research Center right now in Japan, Okasana Securities. But this guy is more hawkish. He's written a book about how they need to change their monetary policy a little bit and not be as loose on monetary policy. And he's written books on how to kind of reverse their monetary policy to get a little bit stronger. So if he comes out talking, I believe that's today. Yes, monetary policy meeting minutes. So if he comes out with a hawkish tone, you're going to see GBP JPY start to drop a little bit. Maybe Jamie, Euro JPY start to drop a little bit, because it's going to add some strength to the Japanese yen, whatever he's saying. But if he comes out dovish and he's kind of echoing the rest of the members of the Bank of Japan, then obviously they're going to stay on course with a weak monetary policy, and that's going to keep the Japanese yen weak. So that's something to pay attention to today. And later on today during the Asian session, I'll give you guys a breakdown later on. But I just wanted to point that out. Let's see, Friday, we have a lot of data coming out, a lot of yellow folder events, but obviously things to pay attention to if you're trading Euro. GBP, obviously mortgage approvals, real estate stuff coming out. You have CPI flash estimate, core CPI flash estimate coming out of the Euro as well, 5 a.m. And then later on, the big mover when it comes to what people are looking at on Friday is going to be core PCE, which is the main. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. That's going to be the main thing that the Fed looks at when it comes to inflation data, right? This is their main gauge over here. So we're going to see if that's going to increase. They're expecting an increase over here. So we'll see if that's what we get. Later in the day, 10 a.m., you got University of Michigan consumer sentiment and then inflation expectations. All right. So I'm going to break down GJ and gold, and then we're going to take a look at Jamie's chart over here. Unless Jamie, actually, let's take a look at this now, just to make sure that you're on the right track when it comes to what you're looking at in case a trade pops up. So right over here, 138, 139 area, 138, 500 area. Looks like we're holding this support over here. Got this consolidation zone. Good job. Once you clear that, again, I think this is good. You got about, let me just get these. You got this area right over here, which you can extend to the left a little bit, right? You have that recent resistance over there, So once you clear out of this area right here, you potentially have a move, as you pointed out, great job, right up into this area over here. Still a little choppy, but at the same time, you get a clean move here. You have a clean move right here that you can mirror. So I would just possibly wait for that retest once you clear this resistance over here and look for the retest to come back up around that 140,500 area, 141 area.
Okay.
I like it. I think it's all pretty clear. But again, we're gonna do a breakdown. I'll have you break down EJ on your own. Once we break down the other pairs, and then we'll see what you're looking at.
You got it.
GJ right now is on its way up as expected. I erased pretty much everything over here. Just gonna move the video over here. Looks like I'm gonna miss that trade, but that's okay. We're gonna be patient. All right, GJ. What we have is our multi-year downtrend that we were respecting, and now we have actually broke it since the recovery of COVID. We have our previous support over here since 2008, the decline in 2008, market crash over here. We've held support. We had that recovery, and then all of a sudden Brexit happened, right? Recovery from that, then the retest of the low over here with COVID back in March of 2021, March of 2020, right over here. Ever since then, we've been in that bullish trend over here. Higher lows, higher highs. All right, so we've kind of actually been in like a channel over here. I'm not going to keep this here, but we've been in this channel rising up slowly with a very weak Japanese yen because of their weak monetary policy and also the increase in rates in Great Britain. So now looking at our levels, which is more important than trend lines, we had 149 over here. We had 156, previous resistance over here. And then I'm going to mark off some more levels. I know we have 158, we have 160 right now. That price is holding support at. If you take a look, I'll just mark that off. So we got 160 over here. After exiting this consolidation over here, we had a very strong bullish move. This liquidity grab right over here was because of Russia invading Ukraine. And then all of a sudden we flipped bullish with the increase in rates, and we just created this high up here. This candle created a very small bottom wick, pushed up past the high of that candle, and created a high up here and closed a strong bullish candle. Then we had a decline, right? A little retest of 156 over here, right? But price snapped back, closed a very weak bearish candle, right? Next one created a higher low over here, past the high of the previous candle, and closed a very strong bullish candle over here. This is the one to pay attention to, because as you see, with the current month, we're coming to an end over here. We pushed all the way down here to that 160 area, also holding support. What's up, Sammy? Missed your brother. I don't know if you can hear me. Mic might not be working. Anyway, we grabbed liquidity down here, respected the low of the previous candle, and now we're starting to retrace back up. So are we going to close a weak bearish candle the way we did right over here? Are we going to close a weak bearish candle like that? The next candle creates its bottom wick over here, flips bullish, and continues up to retest these previous highs over here. So looking at the weekly now, weekly again, grab liquidity. This was our area 158. As I said, we were going to mark off. Called a very strong resistance and then a very strong support as well. Right, holding a support. We ended up bouncing off the area, retesting the previous high over here, but we keep failing to continue bullish, right? We keep failing to fill that wick and continue up over here. But at the end of the day, we also are failing to continue down over here and retrace all the way here. It looks like we're holding some kind of a support, especially with the current weekly candle right over here, pushing up. As you guys know, when you're in a bullish trend and you get a candle like that close, bearish candle close with a top wick like that, and you end up holding support following it, you end up filling that wick and continuing up. So again, a lot is based on what they're going to be saying tonight when it comes to the Japanese yen. Is he going to be more bearish, or is he going to be more hawkish, or is he going to be more dovish? And if he's more hawkish, you're going to see a decline coming right back down to these areas of 160 if he's presenting an avenue for the Japanese yen or the Bank of Japan to be more hawkish and tighten up monetary policy. If that happens, like I said, you're going to see more of a decline and more of a rejection of this area. If he comes out opposite and he comes out basically the same as the rest of the members, where everyone's more dovish, they want a weaker monetary policy, easy to do business, then you're going to see GJ continue to rise over here and hold the support and continue up to retest these previous highs. All right. So that's what we're looking at right now. I'll mark off 166, obviously, as a nice resistance on the weekly. Obviously, we could adjust that as we go down the time frames, but right now, as you see, multiple candles here rejecting that area. We just had that previous week, last week, end up rejecting that area and flipping bearish and closing bearish, right? So the question is, do we hold the support? We are ranging in here. It's very difficult to trade. I was just kind of like back testing the previous New York sessions of last week, and there weren't many moves. There weren't many opportunities for you to hold trades and hold runners. It was more of like grab your quick scalps of maybe 30 pips and you're basically out of that trade. So you want to keep that in mind when we're still in this range. Can we break out of here and you get a nice move up, or we break to the low side and obviously it's still kind of consolidating in this entire area right here. But nonetheless, it might be a little bit clearer for you to take something to continue down into this area. Looking at the daily now, here we go. We'll just adjust that right up here to these yearly highs that we need to retest. But at the same time, we do have this resistance right over here that we are respecting. Previous resistance, we created this lower high to continue down and retest these lows, right? And hold that support, which I'll also mark off right here. And then we just came up to retest that area, and we've been rejecting it for the past couple of days over here. So right now, again, everything is kind of a range. It's very difficult to trade it. Right now, I just want to see if we have an accurate bullish trend here. Just wanna, again, you kind of take trend lines like a grain of salt over here, and then we have this one over here. Price kind of respecting this price action, right? Ever since tapping in March 8th, around that 152 area and holding that support and continuing up, we've been respecting and continuing up as well. But right now, with the current price action, the last few weeks, we've been making these lower highs over here, right? I'm not really going to draw this bearish trend, but you guys can clearly see the lower highs over here. Price respecting that area as well. And now, obviously, there's no clear trend over here. Everything's consolidated. Anybody have any questions so far before I move forward? Just want to make sure you guys are clear. No? All right. Awesome. So right now on the daily over here, we're actually pretty bullish. We're holding a good support somewhere in this area over here. We'll go down to the lower time frames to see where we could draw that trend line. But right now we're holding a nice support so far, unless we're just creating a lower high to continue right back down to retest 162. Looking at the 4-hour, here's your support right here. You could drag that across to the left a little bit, but that's your most recent support right now. And price is pushing up from that area. Where are we going into? This is where it starts to get a little tricky, because we're now consolidating and there's a lot of different zones that you could be marking off. So right now, I want to mark off our most recent resistance right up here, previous support as well. Mark that off just like that. Previous support, resistance, resistance, support, and now resistance as well. Looks like we're pushing up into that area. But we have this kind of consolidation to the left. We have this support right over here that we could end up rejecting. We got to see where price is going to end up going from here. Looking at the 1 hour, price is still bullish, right? Pushing up. We're creating higher lows. in these areas with all these candles so far from this area. Just gonna adjust that just a little bit. And prices like pushing up right now. Nice hourly close. We ended up grabbing liquidity, held the previous support. We never passed the low of that candle, flipped bullish past the high of that candle, and closed a strong bullish candle. So it looks like we're pushing up into these areas over here. Just gonna readjust this just a tad. Get that recent resistance, and support in these areas. But right now we're starting to approach this previous support right here. Right, previous support, and then our most recent resistance right over here, starting to push up into that area. So what are we going to do once we break that area, or do we reject it and continue back down? Right. Let's see. Can we adjust this to the left a little bit? Yeah, you got that previous resistance as well, but it starts to get a little choppy in this area. So I want to see what ends up happening there. 30-minute. There we go. We had a nice support held right in here, this previous support as well. Again, it gets a little tricky in here, but we ended up closing above that area, holding support over here, right? And then pushing up from that area. So right now we just got a strong bullish close right here. Close strong bullish. This candle created a bottom wick past the high of that candle, and now we're starting to approach this resistance right over here. So are we going to break through it? Right now it's 707. Let's see where this candle ends up closing. We'll take a look at the 15 as well. But can we close above this level and get some kind of a support formed at any point in this area? Any point in here for price to continue up, unless we get a clean close right up here, and then we get that support formed in this area to continue back up to this area. Let's see. Got about 50 pips right here that you could be trading in this area. So let's see if we get that close above. We'll take a look at the 15-minute. 15-minute ended up closing a good support over here. When we were starting to come onto the charts over here and starting the session at 6:30, I was looking at this. I was trying to see if we were going to form any kind of support anywhere in this area where we previously held support right over here and bounced off. Ends up bouncing off right here. This candle creates a bottom wick, past the high of that candle, and continues up. I've seen this set up multiple times over here where you get this bullish candle close. The thing is, this is on the 15-minute time frame, so it's a little bit weaker. You may want to wait for price to break above this area before price continues up. And this is where those lower time frames come in. What Jamie and I were talking about right when the session started, about looking at the 5-minute and seeing how it reacts to certain levels. And this is what you get right here. Price bouncing off this previous support, right? And continuing up from here. So you got to see, like, okay, we get this 5-minute close above this resistance over here. This might be enough for you to place your stop loss down here to continue up if that's what you think is going to happen. Looks like we're getting a very weak Japanese yen right now with price pushing up. A lot of bullish volume. Take a look at Japanese yen. I was looking at this before and how we are holding a resistance right now, right in this area, and pushing down from here. Right, we had a nice retracement over here the past few days, and right now price is kind of consolidating and could retest this area before continuing up, or we continue down from here, printing a new low. Right, and a lot of that has to do with their meeting today. But that is GJ right now. Again, I'm looking for some kind of a support. Looks like we're pretty bullish, continuing up from here. But again, I'm looking for some kind of support, basically at this level to continue up. But you have an even better move once you break 165 over here to continue up. You got a lot more space for you to trade, even though this is a little choppy. Let's go back to the higher time frames. Then you start to break this area over here. If you hold support right there, you know that we should be continuing up to like 166, 167. Make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Again, it's very choppy in here and it's all consolidating, but that doesn't mean that we can't catch moves. It just means that you want to be more patient and you want to make sure you're waiting for these candles to close, and you don't have to jump into every single trade, right? Patience is the key to this game. You get paid to wait. So if you can wait for your setups, wait for ideal setups, you are going to profit and you are going to get more winners than you will losers. Pay attention to that win rate right now as a scalper and make sure that you're looking for those opportunity or high opportunity moments or best opportunity moments for you to take that trade. If you see something that you're kind of unsure of, just live back test it and journal it and see if price continues in your direction. All right. So I'm sure EJ looks pretty similar to this right now. We'll take a look at that after gold. But does anybody have any questions on this, or either of you guys have charts, Quinn or Sammy?
No, I didn't have the time to market my charts yet.
I'm sorry, I couldn't really hear you.
I said I didn't have the time to market my charts yet.
Okay. All right. So we can have you break down the chart later in the session if you'd like, and kind of pick up where we left off and
Sure.
see where you're at when it comes to marking off charts.
Uh-huh.
So let's keep an eye on GJ over here. We'll see if we hold some kind of a support. Right now, a lot of nice bullish volume over here pumping up. We've seen this setup before, and we're continuing through. Yet a nice setup over here from London as well. If you guys were trading London, you got a nice bullish close right over here, right at this resistance to see if price could continue up after rejecting this level multiple times here. Once you get this bullish close, a little rejection of this area, and then you get this higher low, strong bullish candle close with this doji right over here. So maybe placing your stop loss below this doji right over here, anticipating price to continue up to this level over here, you would have caught this whole move. Let's hit 15-minute again. 15 will close in 3 minutes, so we'll see where that ends up closing. Looks like it's going to close above that resistance, and maybe we could take a move up. But it looks like this was a nice move of the morning over here that we missed. Looking at gold now. What's going on? I don't know why this is not letting me look at gold. All right, guess we'll do it like this then. Try it one more time. Sorry, bear with me. One second. Let's rid of that. So restart trading view because it's not letting me open gold for some reason. Or my second chart. Sammy, can you hear me? There we go.
Yeah,
What's up, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great, man. We're great.
Enjoy your holiday. You enjoy your holiday?
Oh yeah, it was great. I was telling Jamie that couldn't have gotten any better. We were, besides getting COVID, but we were able to visit family, sightsee, enjoy the beach, all that stuff. But at the same time, like 2 weeks is a little too long for a vacation. We just thought we were going to be visiting a lot more family at the time. But with COVID, we weren't able to visit as many people. So, when you're visiting a lot of people, you want to be able to separate that where you want to sightsee and do all that stuff, but also visit family. You need a lot of time for that. 2 weeks is a good time to come to Europe and do all that stuff. But, if it was up to us, it'd probably be like a week and a half of all that. But nonetheless, it was an amazing trip. Good to be back. Good to be back with you guys. What's up, Carlos?
Yo, what's up, Steph? Welcome back.
Thank you, man. How are you?
I'm all good. How you feeling?
Yeah. Good to hear. Missed you guys.
Facts. Same, man. Getting back to it.
Oh yeah. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, I'm going to be reaching out to each one of you guys individually, scheduling our one-to-one Zooms and picking up where we left off so that we could kill the rest of this year and just really hit the ground running. Let's see. I want to go back to GJ real quick. We just did a breakdown on GJ. 15-minute just closed bullish over here. So let's see if maybe we get like a nice support formed in this area. We already got a very bullish move right over here. Let's see if we get some kind of a support formed here for price to continue up. Now, going to gold over here, I'm just going to mark off a few of our levels, our key levels over here on the higher time frames. We know we have 1680 that price is currently bouncing off of. And while I'm doing this, if you guys could send your charts, let me know what you guys are thinking, or if you guys want to break one down once I'm done breaking these two pairs down. I know Jamie's going to want to break down EJ, but if you guys want to break down your pairs as well, please let me know, and then we'll, you know, again, hit the ground running of where we left off. Just so you guys are clear on the way you guys look at the markets. All right, so we got 1680 over here that price just revisited. Right now we're bouncing off. We've gotten a little bit of a dovish sentiment coming out of the Fed right now, right? We got the what's it called? Fed funds rate coming out on Wednesday. We're going to see how much they're going to increase rates. I'm sure it's going to be by 75 basis points, but we've got a little bit of a dovish sentiment coming out of them recently in the past week or two, where you've gotten this decline as of late on the US dollar, right? It's been declining since the, you know, mid-July when I was gone, been declining over here. Right now, we're starting to break its support to continue down, possibly to this area as well. And if that's the case, you're going to see more of a bounce on gold from 1680 to continue up. There is an area where I think we could possibly come up to before we continue bearish, but right now we are in this decline. The reason we're in this decline right now is because the Fed is increasing rates. When the Fed increases rates and we go into more of a stronger monetary policy, just like we had here, we have this decline in gold, right? So could we break 1680 and continue down over here? I'm going to mark off some of our key levels. 1680, 1750. We have 1830 up here. We have, I would say 1900. We'll just mark off 1900. I normally like to mark off 1910, but we'll do 1900. We're going to mark off 2000. Very key level. And we also have 2075, which is our all-time highs. Now, besides those key levels, we've had a bullish trend over here where price has been respecting over here. Higher lows, higher highs since 2019, right? And now we ended up breaking it and retesting 1680 over here. So is that a big deal? Can we continue down from here and break 1680 to continue down into some of these other levels? Maybe we can mark off this support right here around 1575, I would say. Price ended up holding its support right over here in March of 2020, April of 2020 with COVID, and pushing all the way up to create all-time highs of 2075. Looking at the weekly now you can start to see that bounce off of 1680. Rejection over here, but bounce over here, bounce over here. We ended up getting really good NFP numbers over here right after these good NFP numbers, right? Pushed all the way down to 1680, bounced off, really rejected 1750 over here and closed bullish right above that level. 1750 held a strong support over here, but we ended up breaking right through it here and then coming right back down to 1680 to retest this level. But every time we tap into 1680, take a look at what happens here. Our rejections, right? So right now we're bouncing off that level. Could we continue up into 1750? Could we continue back up to 1830 to retest this trend line over here and then continue down? We shall see. We'll see what the Fed ends up doing. But right now we could end up having, you gotta visit this scenario as well. Are all for 2022, are all the rate increases already priced in right now, bringing us back down to 1680? And now with the fear picking up, right, or the fear that we've had in the last few months of them increasing rates and the stock market tanking. Could this be the low that we hold, and then all of a sudden the market crashes, and then the fear starts to pump in, and we continue back up from here? All right, so all these things are in play. But right now, looking more at the candles, the candle body anatomy, strong bullish candle right here at the weekly. This candle already created a bottom wick. Are we going to continue up from here? That's the question. All right, daily over here. Just going to mark off this recent trend line as well. Since tapping into 2075 here, I believe this could be the trend line. Yeah. That's the trend line right over here. Lower lows, lower highs forming. Every time we create these lows, we kind of consolidate to tap into that area and then continue down. Created this low over here down in 1680. Could we be consolidating to tap this trend line over here, this key area of 1750, or we continue back up this way, can kind of consolidate in this area, and then we continue back down from here, right? Or do we just kind of consolidate in this area, tap into this area, and then continue down, right? Or do we just start to reject this area and continue down from here? All right, so strong bullish candle close. Next one closed as well yesterday. And now this candle already created a bottom wick and is starting to flip bullish over here. So now looking at the 4 hour, as you guys know, we're in this consolidation over here. It's been kind of messy, but right now we did end up breaking our most recent resistance right over here. Since rejecting this area, we've been rejecting it multiple times and creating a new low right down here. Now we came up into this area, rejected it again, right? But held a higher low and started to push all the way into this area and reject this previous resistance right here, right? So we got a kind of a clean move right over here, even though this is kind of consolidating, kind of a clean move right there. And a high created and a support formed for price to continue up and retest that high up there. 1 hour. Right now, this is a little bit clearer price action than we have on GJ. But we have this previous resistance right here, resistance and resistance over here that we ended up breaking through and continuing up to our candle body highs over here and holding a resistance right now. So now we're kind of like in this consolidation, but are we coming down to this area to hold a support and then continue up from there? Let's see if we have any valid trend lines. See if that makes sense. Potentially. You can keep that there if you like. But let's see what we're getting with this bounce and this bottom wick over here on the 1 hour. Could we be holding support here to continue up? Looking at the 30-minute, we ended up getting a 30-minute close right here, but this candle passed the low of that candle right now. And right now it is bearish. So where are we gonna, how are we gonna react to this area over here? We're gonna push through it, or are we gonna hold support here and continue up? Look at the 15-minute. 15-minute so far is still holding a support, but we have this little resistance right over here. So can we start to breach this area? There's a strong bearish 15-minute close over here. We need to kind of close above this area, not kind of, but we need to close above that area, at least on the 15-minute, to know that we're going to continue back up. But the fact that we just rejected this whole area once more tells me that we're kind of consolidating. What are the chances that we continue up this way over here on a Monday when Fed funds rates coming out, PCEs coming out? What are the chances we get another kind of move like we did right over here? Now, the one thing I was looking at this morning was, where was it? The 30-minute. So we ended up getting right over here. We ended up getting this 30-minute candle close with a wick to fill over here and a clean move to the left to mirror. We ended up getting this when I came to the charts this morning. This was a 5-minute candle over here on the 30-minute. So 5:30, I end up coming to the charts. If you take a look, where is it? Yeah. So the next candle, this candle right over here was pretty bearish approaching 6 a.m. So when this candle was bearish approaching 6 a.m., I thought we were going to have a perfect setup over here for price to continue down to this support over here. And then during the session, we'd hold support and we'd be able to get this move coming over here. But the last 5 minutes, take a note of this, the last 5 minutes of gold around 5:55 a.m., this candle ends up flipping bullish and skyrocketing all the way up to this high up here to retest this high right before the hour closed. So the hour ends up closing right up here, right? If you take a look at it, closed a very strong bullish candle. So we pretty much missed that. I missed that move right there because I was waiting for the hour to close, sticking to my rules. And if I miss the trade, that's perfectly fine. I can wait later on, or I could wait later on in the week for me to get a much better setup where I'm paying attention to my rules. And that's the most important thing. That's the only important thing. But right over here, you're looking at and trying to see if how you could have caught this move right here. And what I liked was this resistance over here, right? Previous support, resistance right here, resistance and resistance right there. We ended up getting a 15-minute close right here. Then we got the retest of this area where price ends up holding a support right there. So after this candle held support with the 15-minute, could we have taken something like this with our stop loss right below 1728 right over here, below this previous bearish candle close? After that candle closed right there, we already got our retest on the 15-minute. Can we anticipate price to continue up to this area, getting more about a 2-to-1 ratio, right? A little bit more than that as well if you were to secure exactly at the high, right? So that's just one thing that you could do where you're journaling the trade that you missed and how you could have caught this earlier in the morning right now. But again, like I said, if we ended up rejecting this level already right now, if we go get rid of the rewind tool, we ended up rejecting that level pretty hard and correcting this whole move up. What are the chances, since this is our high as well, what are the chances we continue up this morning and get another push up there? They're kind of low, right? So just keep that in mind. Don't feel the need to force anything today on a Monday when you have Fed funds rate coming out on Wednesday, you have PCE coming out on Thursday or on Friday. You got unemployment data coming out on Thursday as well. So this was the move of the morning. We got a nice little push over here, but you missed it, and that's okay. Just journal it. Make sure you study it. Look at it over and over and over again, and eventually you're going to start catching these moves in this setup here in the 15-minute. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right, so let's go back to GJ real quick, see where we're at. We ended up getting a 15-minute close over here. This candle looks like it passed the high right away. Good job, Carlos. Thank you for sending that. Passed the high right away, and now we're starting to reject. So can we form some kind of a support here on GJ to continue up? You do have more than 50 pips, about 60 pips in this range right here that you could take something if we hold a support. But keep in mind, this is the 15-minute, and this is already clean price action over here. So maybe you're buying at the high up here if we do hold support. Maybe you want to wait for the 30-minute to hold some kind of a support in here with this consolidation that you're sitting in for price to continue back up. All right. Let's see the 1 hour. Look how like kind of overextended the 1 hour is. And not to mention, since reaching 166.200, we've been printing these lower highs over here, right? So you're kind of trading against that recent price action, the recent lower highs here, if you're trying to take this buy over here, right? So just be patient, wait for kind of some kind of a support right here. If you're going to take that, wait for the bullish candle close in your direction for price to continue up over here. But if we start to break this resistance right here, you know that we're starting to break the current market structure. And if you hold support right here, there's a good chance we come back up to this area over here. Hopefully you don't get a fake out over here. That's why you wait for the retest for price to continue up that way. But obviously, once you break 166.200, you got clean moves all the way up. We'll actually take a look at that so you guys have a plan. Yeah, 168 over here that price can continue into because we've rejected this area multiple times here. We've rejected this area multiple times here. And once you start to break that area and continue up, you got a nice clean move back to yearly highs. What's up, Reese? Reese, what's up, buddy?
Morning, morning. How's it
How's it
going,
going?
everybody?
How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Good to hear
Sorry, I
you.
woke up late.
Good to hear your voice. I don't know if I mentioned this when Carlos hopped on, but I'm going to be reaching out to all you guys. I mentioned this in the announcements, reaching out to all you guys individually for our one-to-one Zooms and go over goals, go over your trading, go over everything that you got going on, whether it's difficulties or successes that you want to go over so that we can hit the ground running for the rest of the year and really get the most out of it.
Get it, let's get it.
Let's get it, baby. All right. So daily is getting more and more strong over here on GJ as well. So can we be pushing up from that area and continuing up, kind of breaking that trend of the lower highs here on the 4 hour? Or are we going to find some kind of a lower high over here and continue back down to the support? I think it's the opposite. But again, it really depends on what this new member of the Bank of Japan is going to be saying today. Right over here, what is he going to be saying during these monetary policy meeting minutes, right? Is he going to be hawkish? Is he going to be dovish? Is he going to stick to what the Bank of Japan has been doing with a weak monetary policy? Or is he going to be going against that and announcing a plan to get away from that weak monetary policy and strengthen the Japanese yen, which then you're going to see the weak GJ, a weak GJ. All right, so we broke down both of our pairs. If you guys missed it, I'm going to be posting this on YouTube, so you guys can go back and watch the breakdown. I'm also going to be doing the breakdown with Sharma, full fundamental and technical breakdown later today when I get back from the city. Highly recommend you guys watch that to get a good idea of what we're looking at. But let's look at Carlos's chart. If you guys want to send over your chart, let me know what you're thinking. That'd be awesome. Great, Carlos. This is exactly what we were just talking about. Look for that support formed in this area. We have this pretty overextended move over here in a recent downtrend that you got to pay attention to. But we'll see if we get that support formed in this area to continue up. Get about 40 pips as you march off here. I would actually say, Carlos, may want to move. Actually, where is it? You have this area that you could be paying attention to as well, right? As far as a support formed, because what you have here is this rejection of that area right there, and then multiple supports formed in this area. I like your zone. I'm not saying that this is wrong. I'm just saying that because of our more recent resistance right over here, I could see price coming deeper back down to this area, which would be good for you for buys because it gives you more of a range. But I could see price continuing up from that area as well, instead of trying to grab it right here. Again, this move is very overextended. After an overextended move like that, expect some kind of a pullback, a deeper pullback than you're probably used to. But great job sending your chart. I'm sure that is going to add to your confidence now. After seeing what I was just saying, you can now probably adjust your area and wait for a deeper pullback into like that 164. I don't know what area that is right there. Let's see. $164,600 right there. As you can see that this pullback we're getting here on the 30-minute. I'd rather in a range like this, I'd rather wait for the 30-minute to hold a support rather than the 15-minute. As you can see, we just got that bearish 15-minute close right here. So see if we get that pullback to continue up. Not going to force anything. All right. So who is ready to break down the chart for us?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Quinn wants to break down the chart. Beautiful. What would you like to break down? Turn this AC off.
Let's do EU or Euro USD.
Beautiful. Okay, I'll put that up in a second. As we were just mentioning, we got that push on gold, rejected that level again, and then we got that lower high formed over here with a strong bearish close, weak bullish close right here, and that price is passing the low of it, continuing down. Question is, do you want to take sells in this area? This is actually a nice setup right over here. strong bearish close with a wick right there. Only problem is you got to wait for some kind of a close below this area for you to take safe sells on a Monday, right? You don't want to force anything, but I could see, like, let's say live back testing this. Once this candle passes the low of that candle, I want to see if this plays out. Again, this isn't something I would take, and this is the reason why I'm not taking it, but I could see this kind of playing out once we pass the low. But your better option would be waiting for this retest right here and then possibly taking this sell right here. All right, let's go over to EU. GJ coming back down for GPY for USD. Beautiful. What time frame would you like to start with, Quinn?
Let's go to the monthly.
Monthly. Beautiful. All right. It's been a while. Do you remember how we did this?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
but man, E has been dropping.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh yes.
So yeah, let's just focus on this part.
Sure.
Maybe
Is this good?
yeah.
Sounds good.
So we'll have this level that we just broke marked off
Perfect.
as being the last support being broken. Can you go to the most recent price to the left at the exact level we are at?
Like right here.
So we'll just put so I guess we tapped into this, yeah, this area.
Perfect. What price is that?
And yeah, price rejected that level and is right in the middle of that range. We don't.
Quinn, which price is that?
Sorry, which
Like,
price?
what's the exchange rate at that rejection point?
Oh yeah, one.
There you go.
Yeah,
I was
one flat.
joking. I was joking with my family, saying how it's a good time to go to Europe when I was
Yeah.
going to Europe, because we tapped into that area as soon as we went.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, one flat.
$1 a euro.
If you can put a horizontal line, maybe.
Where would you like it?
Horizontal line at one flat.
Oh, horizontal line at one. Right here.
Yeah.
Almost got it.
Perfect. Okay, so are we rejecting that one and going back up, or are we going to retest the level with that huge bearish momentum? That's highly possible.
Mhm.
We can switch to the weekly.
Sure. You want me to adjust what you're viewing? Zoom in, zoom out.
Maybe just the zone to right. I didn't do it well, but to maybe right under here.
Beautiful. Is that good?
Yeah.
I like it.
So you zoom in a little bit.
Sounds good.
So I would let the support here as it's at the one-to-one change level. Even though we have the support here, I wouldn't move it. I don't really know what to do now. I guess it's okay like that. We're gonna go up to retest the support that has been broken up there and continue down or whatever. So we've had that engulfing candle here showing that we have a bullish pressure at this point to eventually break this wick and retest here.
Great explanation. One thing that I want you guys to focus on too is when you're marking off certain levels, pay attention to the price to the right and mention the price to the right. Like right now, we're rejecting $1 right now. We're heading back up to retest 104. Right, keeping that in mind is going to be able to give you the opportunity to always look at those psychological levels and keep in mind what price we're actually at, because that's exactly what banks and institutions are looking at. They're looking at the price that they want to bring price back up to. They're not necessarily looking at candles and wicks and stuff like that. They're looking at these prices that they want price to come back to for historical levels. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Beautiful. But great explanation. Is
So,
that it?
Yeah, we can switch to the daily here. Okay, so we have a bit of a consolidation here.
Yep.
In this exact area, we have support formed here.
Okay.
And with all these rejections, we'll see, I guess, a resistance somewhere around here.
Okay.
The low time frames. So obviously, if we break down, we have an opportunity to take price back down in there. And if we have a strong close above the resistance, we can expect price to mirror this move and get back up to resistance.
Yes, sir. What do you think about 1015 right here? Does that kind of make sense for your support? Or would you like to keep it here? It's up to you.
I'd like to see it on the lower time frame because we have like this also. Yep. We have the upper part of that consolidation in there that could line up. I want to see how this wick looks like on the lower time frames.
Great answer. All right, so let me get rid of this, and we're going to go to the 4 hour now. That's where we are.
Yeah, so at this point we can see that we have this level on which we had that fake out.
Right there.
And then this support level.
Beautiful. Is that good right there?
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
And to take buys, I would wait and adjust that resistance up to in here.
Perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking at as well. All right. Is there any
looking to leave that consolidation area and see if we can get some momentum living that place.
Yes, sir. Let's see, 1 hour.
Yeah.
All right, a little bit of a mess.
We can get the closest support a little bit up to here.
Okay. See the rejections there. What price is that?
What price is this level?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like?
I would just say 1018.
Yeah, 1018.
Good. I'm just trying to get you in the habit of mentioning where price is at. All right. And then for our areas up here, is there anything you want to mark off?
it's hard to get a clearer level. We have this, we have this, we have this. We're gonna get make support in here
Yep.
with a bullish candle closing.
So whenever you're in a consolidation like this, it gets a little confusing and you don't know what to mark off. Just go look at the current price action. Where's the most recent resistance? And this was your correct zone that you have right here. And I would just make it a little bit thinner, and we're probably going to end up adjusting it. But you can also move this to the left as well. There are previous rejections in this area. You take a look here. Support, right? A little fake out of that area, rejection right there, rejection here, and then the resistance right here. So far, price is trying to hold a support in that area. You got a clean close above that area. We ended up rejecting it, but closing bearish. And then this candle passed the high of that candle, but right now we're kind of retracing. So question is that candle going to close bullish?
Yeah.
All right. So let's look at the 30-minute now. All right. Would you like to adjust anything?
Yeah, I would put the level right in here and
Move this one down here or just,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
All right.
And I don't know, I see we have lots of rejections in here. So anyway, I wouldn't take buys up into here because I guess there's few pips in between the top of the wicks and the resistance. So
You got about 28 pips to the high over there. So question is, do you really want to take that? I like that you adjusted this down here. You got that previous resistance support, right? We rejected that area multiple times over here to the left as well. We ended up getting strong bullish candle closes right here, holding support there, higher low, and then price, printed a very strong bullish candle closing above this area right over here, which is 102.4. So right now, is this candle creating a bottom wick to flip bullish and continue up from here? That could be it. I think I would, looking at this level right here, and I would want price. It looks like we're rejecting this whole level as a whole right here, which is 102.4. Yeah, we're rejecting over here. So I wouldn't be taking anything in here. I like that you said you don't really want to take anything in here either because it's a little choppy. Your safe buys are going to be above 102.7 right here to take price up into what level?
We have 103, I guess, as a first.
Beautiful. So you want to mark off 103. We got fairly a clean move right here. You can always adjust this a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once you break and close above 102.7, you get a clean move to continue back up to that previous resistance of 103. And that'll be your cleaner move. And then after that, got a beautiful move coming up to 103.8. You can always adjust this as well. Right here, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you like?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So you got a clean move right there as well. So that looks good. But right now we keep rejecting this area right here. 102.7 keeps getting rejected. It's a very strong resistance. So I think inexperienced traders, more so beginner traders, would try to squeeze this one in this range right over here. Smarter traders, more patient traders would be waiting for a little retest right over here to take the price up to 103 and then leave that run at 103.8. But great job on the breakdown, man.
Thank you.
Great job. Reese just sent this chart. Awesome. Okay, this is gold US dollar. Okay. So you get a trend line right over here. You have this previous resistance. Now looking to hold support, which I like. That's exactly where I had mine marked off. You have this support over here that's holding, which I like. Let's go over to gold right now and take a look at what you're looking at. Great job sending, Reese. So we're right now in that area. What time frame did you send? This is the 1 hour. Nice. So you're looking at the 1 hour right now of price holding support. Now you had that trend line right here. I believe. So something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we've been since tapping into 1750, right? 1750 is a very strong level on the weekly, on the monthly. If you guys take a look right now, 1750 is this previous support right over here, right? So could we be continuing up into that area? I don't know. Reese, were you on when I broke down gold?
This morning?
Yes.
No, I wasn't in yet.
Okay. So what I was looking at is price bouncing off 1680 over here, where you have the technicals are breaking off of a or bouncing off of a very strong fundamental level or technical level here on gold, where we bounced off multiple times here. I'll actually make that a zone.
That's not a historical level to you, right?
Oh, it is.
Oh, it is?
1680. This is so 1680. We ended up tapping into at the beginning of March over here. We got this bounce off of what was it? Around 1500 right over here. Bounce off 1500. And then all of a sudden we ended up breaking 1500 in April and holding that support of 1680 before bouncing up, right? Then after all-time highs were hit, bouncing off of 1680, right? We ended up learning more and more about COVID, right? What was it? Vaccines started to come into play in the end of 2020, so November, right? That's where vaccines started to come more into play. We ended up bouncing off 1680 over here. Then what we ended up getting was the fear of inflation, right? Also, between fear of inflation and also the Israel-Gaza conflict. Do you remember that, where the Iron Dome in Israel was protecting Israel and they were sending over missiles? Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, so that was going on right around this time of March 2021. So we ended up, skyrocketing up here, and then also the fear of inflation, and then all of a sudden you ended up getting really good NFP numbers. That was actually surprising, which pushed us right back down to 1750. Right, we recovered from that. The next month we ended up getting great NFP numbers again, which pushed us right back down to 1680. Right, so now, after that, we ended up holding support at 1750 right here, right, and pushing up. All of a sudden, this was the move from the end of February, beginning of March. Russia invaded Ukraine, pushing us all the way up here. And then right around this time where we reached all-time highs, a lot of profit takers took profit. And then after that, we ended up getting sentiment from the Fed that they were really going to be increasing rates strongly to combat inflation. We were getting bad inflation numbers. So then we've been creating these lower highs and lower lows ever since. Broke through 1750 over here and now came right back down to 1680 and tapped off of this area. So could we get a nice bounce off that area to continue up? Or is this just a little bounce to continue right back down with them increasing rates in on Wednesday? Now, I think that a lot of the rate increases are pretty much priced in for the year over here. And now you're going to get a nice strong bounce off of 1680 over here to continue back up to 1750 to retest this area and continue down. If you look at the daily, you can see this trend over here since all-time highs, lower high, lower high, lower highs over here. We now created this lower low. Could we get a further pullback over here? Continuing into this area, hold resistance and then continue down? Or do we consolidate in this area and tap into this area and then continue down? Do we fake this area out right here and then continue down from here? Multiple things can happen, but I think we're going to get a nice strong bounce off 1680, which we're getting right now. So looking at the 4-hour, what I was saying was we had our recent resistance right over here being broken and a high being retested right over here. We have this wick, right? Price comes down, holds support at 1720, right? Strong bullish candle, strong bullish candle. This candle ends up retesting this area up here, but now rejecting, right? So now that the 4-hour is like this, what are the chances? If you look at the 1-hour, the 1-hour had a nice strong push up over here to retest the candle body highs up here, right? And now we rejected. So what are the chances we hold a support right here and retest that area again? They're kind of slim because it's a Monday and we have so much data coming out the rest of the week. So I think we're going to either consolidate over here, right? Or we're going to end up pushing. Remember the live back test I just drew over here? If you're aiming for 1720 to be retested again, this could be a good move. But if you're actually going to take this trade, what I would wait for is the retest right here before taking anything down. And then, of course, you're going to have safer sells below 1720 because this is all a consolidation. Does that make sense, Reese?
Yeah, I was kind of like my thoughts this morning, especially between 1710 and 1729. I kind of didn't know how I felt about the inside of that range. So, but yeah, now that you explained it, yeah, I'll probably look for sells below 24, 25.
Okay, so you're looking for this area right here to be broken. And then what you have is more so structure being broken, right? This bullish structure being broken because you had this support right over here, retest multiple times. Once you start to break below that area, this could be a good move.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what you're looking for, and then potentially holding that sell to continue down here.
Yeah.
Right? So now, what I'm looking at, I was just going to mention, oh, that's right. We're going to hop back up to the 1-hour now, and we're going to take a look at the 1-hour, how this 1-hour is going to close, because right now what you have is the 1-hour closing in New York opening in 2 minutes. So right now, let's see how this candle closes. Let's see if you get a nice retest right here and possibly take this move down. Remember, again, what I mentioned with GJ, same exact thing what I'm mentioning with the gold over here. Wait for the certain setups that you want, the more opportune moments. Don't try to force any trades on a Monday when you have so much data coming out throughout this week. PCE, unemployment. What else do we have? We got the Fed funds rate, which is the biggest of the week, right? See what the Fed is going to end up saying. You want to wait for the opportune moments. But right now, you got that resistance holding pretty hard right now and a nice rejection of that area. So could we get this continuation coming down here? Let's see, 30-minute. Yeah, I like this support. This is a key area over here. I didn't want to take this sell from over here, but I like this setup right here where we ended up rejecting this level again. We get the weak bullish candle. This candle ends up creating a top wick, passing the low of the previous and continuing down. I like that to continue down, but at the same time, it's a Monday. We really got to close below this level, and this will be your better opportunity right here. Sammy just sent the chart. I want to go back to GJ for a second. So GJ is still holding above this level here. 15-minute looks good, where we're kind of holding support right now. But again, the 1-hour is going to close in 1 minute. And this 1-hour is pretty overextended. Can we squeeze some more out of this move? Because you got about 60 pips to that next resistance. There we go. Let's see if we get that bottom wick formed first on the 1-hour before continuing up. Now, if this candle passes the high right away, that's good because right now, you know, we're going to end up getting that rejection and getting that support formed anywhere in these areas to continue up. Don't be surprised if you miss the overall move of the morning, though. Let's see, Sammy's chart. Great job, Sammy. All right, buys above 164, 600. Great job. Wait for support. Great. Safe buys above 165, 130. Safe sells below 164, 185. Great job mentioning the prices. I see the same exact thing. I think, again, we are in a bullish trend over here, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low, right? But at the same time, the more recent price action, we've been printing these lower highs, right? So printing the lower highs, also another one right here as well. Printing these lower highs, what's going to end up happening in this area? Everything's consolidating because you're printing higher lows and lower highs. So there's no clear direction. But once you go down to the 4 hour, right, we're holding the support in here. Could we end up getting some kind of a lower high formed in this area for your safe sells below 164, 185? So let's look at the 1 hour. 185. Okay, so 30-minute might be better. So you have this area marked off, huh, Sammy? Basically 200.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And do you like my level right here, this previous support, and then you get this rejection of this level over here where price wanted to come back down to continue up?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think yours is better.
Okay, so you know that's where
mine's
it
at-
helps.
I think mine's at the resistance and yours is at the support. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, no, it's I think this is also a valid level as well, because if you look at the 15-minute, that 15-minute was holding a support here in a little bit. So you ended up getting the fake out of this level. So that really being irrelevant now, where you know you don't have to like mark that off anymore. I could see in the beginning marking that off, but now that you have this liquidity grab in this area, you'd rather wait for sells below this area unless besides this area right here. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
So the 15-minute ended up closing bullish right here, and the 1 minute or 1 hour doesn't have a bottom wick yet. So if you look at this, what ended up happening over here? Now we have a lot of volume during 8 o'clock, so this could very well continue up. But right over here, it looked like we're in a very bullish move. We end up getting this high created, and then support held on the 15-minute right here. And then all of a sudden, price just tanked and grabbed more liquidity down here, right? So could we get something similar over here where price gets a deeper pullback? Remember, it's the 15-minute, no bottom wick on the 1 hour. That's against my rules. I don't know about you guys, but that's against my rules. I'm not going to just take that buy as soon as the 1 hour opens at 8:03, right? Especially after missing such a move, you know, already with this whole move right here. I'm good sitting this out up to this area. Maybe your better option would be waiting for that close above this level, support to be held and continue up. But even then, if you get that, you're really overextended at that point with the lower highs being created here. Just adjust this a little bit. Oh, Sammy, I forgot to mention, I was thinking about you. I was in the plane. What was it? Yesterday? No, 2 days ago. I was on the plane 2 days ago and looking at the flight tracker, like on the plane, and we were going right over Manchester. I was like, oh, it's Sammy. I'll wave to him.
You should have landed.
What?
You should have landed.
Did it landed? Well, I mean, I went 2 weeks without seeing a cloud. So if I would have landed in Manchester, I would have broken that.
You would have seen a lot of, you would have seen a lot of clouds.
Oh yeah. Wait, you know, there was a lot of British people in Cyprus. It's a big vacation spot for them. Have you ever thought of going?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, my mum's been. My mum and dad.
Really?
But,
Where in Cyprus?
I think Mykonos. I think
No, Mykonos is in Greece.
that's Greece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Apart from Greece, then.
I'll show you. Earth. While we're waiting for our moves, looks like GJ is retracing a little bit. People might be getting faked out right now. Go back to the. It's a great setup right here. I would just rather wait for that bottom wick to form. I want that liquidity grab before continuing up, especially after missing this move right here. This actually happened right before the stream where we were breaking down charts and all that stuff. So we wanted to focus on that. Obviously, it's our first stream back, so not going to force any trade the first second the stream starts. So I'm content missing moves like this. But let me just show you guys. Have you guys been though? Carlos, Reese, Sammy? I
Where?
caught up with Jamie and Quentin before, but fill me in, man.
I've been good.
Been good?
Like, trading's been going good as well.
How's your family doing?
They've been doing a bit better now.
Doing better?
Yeah. Better than before, yeah. So,
As you said, time heals, huh?
yeah, 100%.
And again, you got to go through that period, and you've hit more adversity than I think anybody in the group this year. And you know, we're all here for you. But again, as we said, time heals all, and you start to cope with things and get back on track with your personal life. Obviously, that's something that's hard. It hits hard in the beginning, and it's good to take some time off. You should not be in the charts doing something like that. But it's good to, you know, that you're kind of getting your groove back a little bit. And that's what we're going to do our 1-to-1 for, and get you back on that horse.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Honestly.
Dude, though, like I said, we're all family in here, and we're all here for you. So if anyone goes through something similar, I definitely expect someone to step up and you know, talk to you. And if it's not me, it's someone else in here, and they'll help you cope through it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be his family though. He's a bit of a pain in the neck.
Who?
Look at Jamie.
Jamie. Good old Jamie, huh? Love it. Oh, what's going on with Google Earth here? Jamie, you had to step away for work or something?
Yeah, I had to get the work laptop online. Remember I told you now we're just a 2-man team.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting starting this week.
Yeah. 100%. All good there. Yeah, so this was the live back test that we were talking about. Where was it? As we pass the low, keep our stop loss up here with a strong bearish candle close here. We had that live back test coming back down to this support over here. So right now it is looking good, but it's very risky to be taking something like that. So you just want to be studying that to see if it's a good setup for you. But what I did like was this strong bearish close, weak bullish candle close, and then a strong bearish close with a wick to fill. That's basically what I'd be entering on. And then if you, again, look at the 15-minute, you got that strong bearish 15-minute close, weak bullish close. This one created a top wick past low, that candle right there. So we'll see how that plays out. GJ is pushing over here, and that's okay. I'm content not catching anything today. I actually felt a little rusty before. Like I've been up since around 4:30, so I got my morning routine in, started breaking down the charts. I actually journaled GJ and gold over here for potential. Where is it? Different window. Here it is. So I was, at the time, we were looking at 614. This is price holding that support over here. But when I was breaking this down, it was a little choppy to me and hard to break down for myself because I haven't been on a desktop. I've been working on my iPad for the last 2 weeks and sending my breakdown for you guys then, but I felt like pretty rusty. And I was honestly a little nervous coming on here, thinking that I wasn't going to be, 100% on my grind, but it was kind of easy breaking these charts down.
Well, like you said, brother, it's like riding a bike, you know?
Yeah, man.
Once you learn, you never forget.
Oh yeah. The more you guys erase your charts and keep charting, erase chart, you guys are gonna gain that confidence. It's gonna become muscle memory. It's like building habits, where like it's very hard to build a habit in the beginning, but once you start going through it and training your brain to rely back on that habit again, it gets a lot easier. That goes for everything: working out, breaking down charts, journaling. Doing everything in your daily musts, all that stuff, it becomes a lot easier. So like right
A
now,
lot.
something that what was that, Reese?
Like it becomes a lot easier because that's like, I mean, over the months that you've been seeing stuff, like there would be times where like I hated doing the charts, but there's a reasons why I'd hated those because I couldn't do my call outs properly. Like those are the things that get you down. But as you consistently keep, like you said, erasing your charts, keep then one thing for me too is like I just pay attention to like just levels that you guys speak about. But what I try to do is I try to stick to whatever it is that I mark. That way everything is making sense, right?
Absolutely. That's exactly what you guys want to do. I want you guys to be independent with your breakdowns. I want you guys to have your breakdowns before we come to the charts in the morning. You guys have your clear breakdown of what you're seeing for your pair. And then all of a sudden, let's say, Reese, you have your breakdown of, let's say, Euro USD. And then Quentin comes onto the charts, and then we end up breaking down Euro USD and giving you an idea of what we're both looking at. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is what I was looking at, but maybe I can adjust this level real quick. That's valid. But don't let anything completely turn your analysis around where it's like, oh, I don't know what I was talking about. I don't know what I was doing. I'm just going to completely change my entire chart. I know you're not at that point. That's just more common for newer traders where they start listening to different opinions and it becomes unhealthy for them. But if you know how to control your mind, this is where meditation comes in. If you know how to control your mind and not let outside opinions truly and really affect you in a negative way, that's where it really comes in handy, being able to listen and understand what other people are saying, and maybe a level or two you can adjust and everything clears up for you.
Yeah. Like yeah, like I said, it before I used to not like to do charting and breakdowns and stuff, but as I started doing it every day, it didn't become or it stopped becoming a thing to do. It just became regular. Just do it every morning now. So it's just good.
There's a cycle in business and trading and sports where those tedious things that you have to do in the beginning, like breaking down charts and stuff like that, and you're not winning trades, you're not making money, it's very tedious. It's very annoying. Backtesting, very annoying to do when you're not winning and your confidence is down and all that stuff. But all you got to do is really be able to turn that corner, be able to hang in there when you don't feel like doing things, do them anyway. Eventually you start to really pick up your confidence, you start to win a few trades, and then all of a sudden, I'm sure you can attest to this, breaking down charts becomes a lot more entertaining, backtesting becomes a lot more entertaining, all that stuff, your mind starts to switch where everything starts to become more fun for you.
Yeah, and it's getting funner by the day, man.
Yes,
Even
sir.
though funner's not a word.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, and also that helps me explain to other people in the group as well. Like you saying that, it helps me explain to other people in the group, because for some reason, like if I say something, obviously you guys take a lot of value from that, right? But when it comes from someone else in the group or someone else that you know that you feel like is a little bit more on your level, when they're starting to say it, then it starts to really manifest in your mind and really starts to register with you that it's like, okay, if I just start to do this, what Reese was just saying, what Reese is doing now, maybe if I do it, it'll really help, right? So you guys explaining what you're going through to other people in the group really helps other people in the group get through whatever they're going through, because maybe they're going through a different stage or a stage before that, that they just needed to hear that and it clicks, and all of a sudden they're going to end up doing it. But Reese, I just want to praise you real quick for hopping on a Zoom with Jamie and explaining how you're looking at the lower time frames. He was telling me about that before, and also like in our what's it called? In our private chats, talking about how you guys hopped on a Zoom. You were pointing out how you look at those lower time frames, not to trade on them, but to see how market structure is changing and how you can pay attention to certain levels on that, maybe let's say 5 minute, to see how price is going to react on the higher time frames. But it's great that you're taking that leadership. Keep it up, because that helps you as well. When you're explaining things to other people, it helps you as well. You get better from that.
Yeah, no problem, man. Like that's like you said, that's what we're all here for, right? To learn from each other. Like, I just want to get better with everybody, man.
Yes, sir. We're all on the same mission. And actually, there's one thing that I want to do and starting the sessions with is a mission statement for all of us, where we all kind of repeat it. We all read through it together. I'm like trying to form one, but it's a mission statement that we're all on the same level. We're all on the same path and all have the same goals to accomplish for what we want to become in this group individually, but also as a group, being the most premier trading group in the world, and also being the best versions of yourself. I'm trying to come up with a nice statement. Maybe it's 1 to 3 sentences in there that we just read through it together before each session, and it keeps you guys on path throughout the week, especially towards the end of the week when it gets a little bit harder. You guys are all on the same path and knowing exactly what the mission is every single day. This live back test is playing out pretty well. All right, so the 15-minute ended up closing bullish over here. Strong bullish candle. Again, I don't want to take anything on the I honestly feel like I'm going to be staying out of the charts for today, as far as like taking a trade unless something presents itself later on. But I feel like this was the trade I wanted to take over here, and I would have been able to leave a runner to continue up. But right now, I just on the higher time frames over here, it's pretty overextended, and we're in a range right here on GJ. So I'm pretty content staying out of that. Gold as well. I think this was the move of the morning right over here, unless we start to break market structure over here, or we get some kind of a retest up here and a resistance form to continue down. That's more what I would want to take, to retest these lows and continue down to 124 flat. Want to take a look at some of the indices over here as well. For some reason, Google Earth really is not panning out here. You're good, man. We're good. All right.
Yeah, just give me a shout on whatever time works good for the one-on-one.
Yes. Yeah. No. Like I said, I announced it in the announcements today. I'm going to be reaching out to each one of you individually in the DMs when I get up to the city, so that we can plan where you guys are best suited as far as where your schedule lines up to do a one-on-one Zoom, and we'll get going. And then I know you and Jamie wanted to do a one-on-one back testing with me as well. We can very well do that. We can do one as a group as well. That'll be a separate one. But I'm just, as I've been mentioning in the group and announcements and New York session and all that stuff, how proud I am of the two of you guys really grinding and really making sure you guys are getting the most out of yourselves in the markets. I could see the improvement. I could see the initiative, all that stuff. This is what's going to make you great. And I know a lot of you guys are working towards that. Maybe you don't have the same momentum, but we can get you to that momentum as long as we revisit your goals on a one-on-one Zoom and get you guys back to exactly where you were when you first came in here. Quinn was on a roll when he first came in here. Not to say that he's not right now, but certain things happen between work, between little vacation time at home. Very easy to fall into a little slump when you go on vacation and get out of your routine. So all we have to do is revisit some of those goals and just hop on a nice conversation, nice 30-minute, hour conversation together, going through exactly what you want in life, going through some of your trades. And that's all it takes to really pick your momentum back up. Sammy as well. Obviously, Sammy's been through more adversity than I think anybody in the group, as I mentioned before. Again, all it takes is 1 or 2 little Zooms that we can hop on together, revisiting everything, just talking one-on-one, human to human, man to man, and get you back on the rhythm. Same thing with Carlos. You know, Carlos, all we got to do is hop on a Zoom, man, and get your momentum going again, and see the rest of this year through. Make the rest of this year the best year of your life, the best second half of a year from now till January 1st that you've ever had in your entire life. And as long as you believe that, we can make that happen. The only way you're going to believe it is if you're putting the work in. And again, sometimes it's hard to put the work in the beginning when you're not winning, you're not, you know, at the momentum you're used to. But the way to gain momentum and to pick momentum back up is just by putting work in, especially when you don't feel like it. Once you do that and you build that habit, you build those standards for yourself, then all of a sudden everything starts to click and it becomes fun. It becomes fun to back test and journal and do all that stuff. You guys with me? Carlos down for back testing? Beautiful. We'll do it next weekend. We'll do one as a group next weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we could just do a full group and stuff.
Okay. All right. So we'll do that then. Nice hour or two. Just dive into the charts. Soft4fx. You guys choose the pair, and we'll see how our setups are forming. Get some trades together.
Remember, I'm on your side next weekend, the week of August 6th.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah, so I'll be working. So I we may have to shift that one around a little bit so I don't miss it.
Okay. Well, either way, if we do one as a group and you can't make it, I'll do one individually with you or one with you and Reese as you guys requested. Without a doubt, dude. Like I said, when you guys are putting the work in, it makes me want to do things individually with you guys as well. Where like, again, my time is very valuable as well. So I like to get the group sessions in. You know, if we're going to back test, I want to do it with all of you guys at the same time. But if you guys are putting in the work and you guys have the momentum that you and Reese have right now, that makes me want to hop on a Zoom with you guys and just back test individually with you or adjust my schedule to fit yours so that we can make something happen. Like Jamie, you're earning that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're earning the amount of work that you're putting in, that you're earning my time, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like if you have a schedule conflict or something like that, we'll hop on an individual one and make that happen.
Much appreciated.
Of course. But yeah, you're up in Jersey or Pennsylvania, New York. Put it in my calendar, I believe.
Yep, August 5th through the 11th. So I'll be driving from JFK to PA on the 5th, but I'll be heading back from PA to Long Island on Monday the 8th. So we're going to try and do something that Monday.
Monday the 8th. So Jamie. Monday the 8th. All right. Do you have your schedule down for that day? Like, do you know what you're going to be doing when you're going to be starting to drive?
Yeah, I plan to leave Hazleton about 9:30 that morning, 9:30, 10 o'clock, just to make sure the site is operational.
Sure, let's see. Let's visit this and see. And where in Long Island?
I'm going to Bohemia.
Bohemia. Bohemia, New York. Huh. Would you mind taking this route?
No, not at all.
All right, awesome. So we can meet in like South Amboy area,
Okay.
right around here. Actually, a couple that we're really close with lives right over here. So we can probably meet at like the Woodbridge Mall.
Okay.
Grab a little bite to eat.
Absolutely.
Drive up to you.
Yes, sir.
It's right here. You go through Staten Island, take the Verrazano, take the Belt Parkway. This might actually be a better route for you than taking the northern part and going through like the Bronx and taking
Yeah.
that might be a little tricky.
Yeah, that drive is always painful. Very, very
Oh,
painful.
you've done it before?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've gotten stuck on the Cross Bronx, the GW, the Northern Parkway, the Southern Belt Parkway, the Cuomo Bridge. I've gotten stuck in every one of those things, including that Delaware Water Gap.
Oh, yeah. Wait, let me actually just send this to you. Jamie.
Hey Steph, how far is New York from New Jersey? Well, we're from Long Branches.
Oh, not at all. If I want to go to Manhattan, like I'm doing today, it's going to take me about an hour 15.
Oh, that's not too bad. Then you just have one bridge to cross, or
I have the Driscoll Bridge right here, going over the Raritan Bay, and then I take the Turnpike up right here, and then I take right over here. This is the Lincoln. Take the Lincoln in, and then I'm right in Manhattan. Actually, no, this is the Lincoln up here. Take the Lincoln in right here. This is the Holland Tunnel. So normally I'll hop across into Hoboken and Jersey City, and then take the Holland Tunnel right over here.
nice. Hopefully, I get to visit there sometime soon in the future.
Yeah, if you come to New York or if you come to the area, I'm more than happy to meet up with you guys. As long as our schedules match up, So I'm thinking, what's this? Jamie, you're gonna be leaving around 9 a.m.
Yeah, I plan to leave about 9:30.
9:30.
Kind of see if I can let some of that traffic die down a little bit. If I need to leave later, then I will. You just tell me what's a good time to meet up there, and I'll adjust.
I'm thinking maybe around 11. If you're leaving around 9:30, 11,
Yeah.
11:30, we
Sure.
meet up for early lunch.
Absolutely.
Carlos from DC. I would say about 3 hours. This is it's literally just a straight path right here.
How long are you guys driving for? Well, Jamie, anyway.
He's gonna have about a 3.5 hour drive from Hazleton to Long Island.
All right. It's not bad.
No, not at all.
What's the longest trip you've done?
Me?
Yeah.
I've driven to Florida multiple times. I would say that's my longest from Long Branch, New Jersey, down to Miami. I've done that twice.
How long does that take?
That took all of, I would say, 21 to 24 hours, including stops and stuff. But the one thing that I've done is Jersey here to Orlando in 18 hours, only stopped 5 times for gas.
Well, I don't get how you guys drive for so long.
The key, and I know this is kind of frowned upon, but yeah, not that I'm watching it, but I put on a TV show or I put on like the last time I did that, when I did this, I watched, I think, 4 live streams from Mike Heel on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the key is just listening to it, right? And, glancing at it every once in a while if he's like talking about a setup. But if you're listening to somebody talking, you're listening to a TV show or a movie or something like that, I could drive to California easily.
Yeah, I talked with Jamie and I'd be like, you guys drive 24 hours. If we were to drive 24 hours, we'd be in, I don't know, Germany or something.
I'd be what?
We'd be in Germany, basically.
Germany? Yeah.
If we drove 24 hours,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Manchester to Germany, I mean, you would have to, is there a tunnel here?
I think you have to go around.
Do you guys have a tunnel in you know, from England to Paris or
Yeah,
England to
to
France?
Paris. Yeah.
Okay, so there is the ability to drive to Germany.
No, it's only a train. Oh,
Only train. So
am I right? Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
only a train tunnel.
That's right, Sammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't sure anymore. But you can put your car on the train.
Oh, you can. Okay. I was gonna ask if you guys had like ferries that you could put your car on.
Yeah,
We do have ferries as well, yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I did that one time. Took the bus from Paris to Calais that you see,
Where?
and then
Where's Calais?
it's in France.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, Calais.
Yeah,
Right here?
yeah. Took the bus to here. The bus went on the boat to whatever town it was in England, and then, but all the way up to London.
Oh, wow.
Took about 8 to 9 hours from Paris.
Wow. Okay. What's it called? Our connecting flight was in Austria. I was in Vienna for a little bit. The people in there are pretty nice. Some of them didn't like Americans, you could clearly tell. But what's it called? Yeah, we connected in Vienna, and then flew from Vienna down to Cyprus. But this is what I was going to show you, Sammy. This is Mykonos right here. You see it?
Yeah. I get mixed up with Greece and Cyprus quite a lot. I don't know.
So,
But are they quite close or?
well, Cyprus is all the way over here. It's still in the Mediterranean Sea. These are all the Greek islands. Like this is basically almost all of Greece right here, right? And then Cyprus is over here.
Yeah,
Right.
I always thought Cyprus was a part of Greece until I zoomed in and it was its own island.
It's its own country, but it's all like Greeks. It's Cypriot Greeks. The southern part of it is all Greek. But in 1974, the Turkey right here, invaded Cyprus and took over the northern part of it. I was right at the border. We don't like each other very much. The Greeks and the Turks. I mean, that goes all the way back to the Trojan horse, if you guys know that story. But yeah, Cyprus is its own country, and it's beautiful. If you guys, I don't know, do you guys see my stories?
Yeah, with
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
I don't know what you call the bird.
What was that?
The bird that was on the restaurant.
Oh yeah, you saw that?
That was crazy.
I know. Yeah, the bird has like its own personality too. Satellite. Here we go. How do I do satellite?
There's quite a bit of us in Europe in here, right?
Yeah. So Cyprus is like a vacation spot of Europe. I was in Parlimony, which is like a county over here, but it's Portoras is where we stayed. I stayed right here. If you look at this water, it's like amazing. Where was my place? This was my apartment right here.
Oh, I think that was that one picture I see, Steph, where you were like on top, and it's like, oh fuck. And see, you have it in one of your pictures.
Yeah, it was like overlooking the ocean, the sea from the
But you see a lot of buildings too.
That was from
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here. If you I don't know if you could, if I could do this. So this is I stayed right up here. This is my room, and this was the whole balcony was mine, and you could oversee the ocean. But this is obviously in the morning. This picture was taken. Everything is like basically closed down in the morning because people stay up until like 2, 3 in the morning, like walking around, even on like a Tuesday night. And like this whole street is all shops, bars. It's very popular down here.
like a huge tourism spot.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's what Porto Ross is. I don't know if you could see. So this is Porto Ross down here. And then you have Ayanapa, which is like really cool. There's where's Nisi Beach? We went to Nisi Beach. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is Nisi Beach. The water is like a pool. It's crazy. But that's another tourism area. We stayed one night in Limassol, right down here. Paphos down here is beautiful as well. I don't know if you saw my stories, but that castle, and that's Paphos is actually where that ostrich, whatever you call that thing. Here it is. This castle was built in the 1300s.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. There's a lot of cool history in Europe, but Cyprus as well. It's crazy. This island has been tossed around. This is where my family's from, Nicosia, and yeah, Nicosia. This is the main capital. If you see here, this is like an old kingdom. If you see how it's like a circle, there's this huge wall that goes this huge wall that guards the whole thing. I don't know. You can't see here, but you guys get the point. Let's go back to this thing's playing out pretty well on gold. What I'm looking for, if I'm going to take anything on gold, I'm looking for a possible retest of 1729 right here to take price down and retest this low. Looking at GJ over here, again, we're still pushing up over here, but I'd rather wait for a good setup on the 30-minute before I take anything. This is a nice one on 15-minute that we could have taken, but again, it's so overextended here on the 1 hour that I'd rather wait for that pullback to take a nicer, farther move up, if that makes sense. But again, this is a trade I would have taken somewhere down here. This little liquidity grab right here, I would have taken this thing up, but that was the beginning of our session. But you guys all good? You got a clear direction of what we're looking for?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Well, again, that was a great session back. It was amazing being back with you guys. I missed the hell out of you. It was, again, like I said, 2 weeks is a little too much for a vacation, especially with our drive, especially with our routines and stuff that we do. That's more for other people. 2 weeks of vacation. That's not for me. But anyway, with that being said, I'm going to post this on the on YouTube for you guys to rewatch if you guys missed the full breakdowns. But we're going to be right back at it tomorrow morning. Looking forward to it. Stay hungry, stay humble, like Jamie likes to say. And I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
See you, boys. Oh,
Great day.
to each one of you individually too, to schedule those one-on-ones.
All right.
All right, boys. Have a great day. All right.
Yep.
Good day.
Yeah.
Bye, boys.